Welcome to episode number 150, the 150th episode of Genius Take the Wheel. I am Dr. Evil Genius, doing the things that Dr. Evil Genius does, which is leaving the gym early in the morning. If you're a part of the replay gang, I salute you. Thank you so much for supporting what I'm doing here. The going is slow, but Mrs. Evil, how you doing? Mrs. Evil is on her way to work, as am I. So yeah, things didn't really go as well as I would have liked today. And I'm really not too down about it. I'm hoping Mrs. Evil doesn't spill any of that coffee in the car. If you know, you know. So yeah, this is episode number 150, and today just did not go as well as I would have hoped. I basically left the house on E, both in body and in gas tank. And today I just wasn't physically as strong as I was last week. And I know that I'm not physically as strong as I was last week because it was much harder to push the platform on the leg press before I reached the third rep on the first set, before I reached the third rep on the second set. It's very, very, very difficult. So I had to use a little bit of arm assistance. I did not feel very strong, and then as a consequence of not feeling very strong, I didn't feel very safe either. So today, I was pretty ambitious trying to get the 3 sets of 5, but I think that 5 sets of 3 would have been just as difficult to get through. But the good news is that I will work very hard on the hack squat on Thursday. I will work very hard on the barbell back squat on Saturday and try to recover, and then hope that I can try the 3 sets of 5 again next Tuesday. Later on today, I've got some horizontal pull. So hopefully my legs aren't, completely cooked, because I plan on doing some heavy bent over rows with the barbell. I had a decent time of it last week. I will try it again. So, there are a lot of times where I have to talk to my clients because they kind of get down on themselves. And, I'm going to say the same thing to you that I say to the clients that I have. You are not going to have it every time out, Today I went without really fuel, which probably wasn't smart, and there was no pre-workout. That was intentional. I have not had pre-workout since last Monday. So I am interested in seeing how that works out for me in the long term. Very interested in seeing how that works out for me in the long term. I've done all my lifts since last Tuesday with no pre-workout. So I'm going to continue to keep trying this. I'm going to try the bench press tomorrow without pre-workout. And, we will see just how my body ends up responding to that. I'm supposed to do more repetitions. We'll see if that comes to fruition. I do think that I really wanted it bad today. I just never got comfortable. I did feel a little bit of fatigue in my lower back, and I think that is due to the deadlift that I did on Saturday. Still a little fatigued. Make sure there's no bicyclists. So I don't know. I just sometimes I really want to criticize myself and say I didn't want it bad enough, but no, it really was really that difficult today. So I'm just going to try it again next week, and I think that I'll get better. I really don't have a choice. I have to get better. I'm going to try to do better on the bench press tomorrow. I'm going to try to do just as well as I did last week on the um, on the horizontal pull. I did a really great job on the pull up on Sunday. I thought it was going to be harder than it ended up being. So I was aiming for 3 sets of 3 on the weighted pull up with the 25-pound plate. And I ended up doing 5 sets of 5 instead. The fatigue was pretty apparent by the time I got to the end of it, but I was very happy with what was there. So I'm going to move up in weight the next time I do vertical pull, which will be Thursday. So, I'm pretty satisfied with that progress right now. I'm glad that this short bus moved over. Thank you. Sir Fernando, the Fondue King. Thank you. And thank you for hitting the like button. I appreciate you. But yeah, I did a hand or an arm assisted leg press at 545, 3 sets of 5. My goal for next week is to do the same 3 sets of 5, but with a lot less assist from the arms. I would like to get better at kind of, I don't even see. The thing is, like, the pain wasn't even really the issue today. I think I could have handled the pain, but there were times where I was pushing on the platform and it just acted like it didn't want to move. So that kind of scared me a little bit, that I just simply wasn't physically strong enough today. But I am working towards fixing that issue. Wow, there is a short bus weaving in and out of traffic like an asshole in a sports car. Like you're driving the short bus. Like we should not feel unsafe around you. Goodness gracious, what is wrong with this guy? Good God. Yes, sir. Always hitting the like button, even with my sweaty hands. Ha! I appreciate you. I appreciate you. So, yeah, I'm gonna just try to work harder because I don't have a choice. One of the things I found very interesting is Ms. Evil came home yesterday, and she was like, "Yeah, the we have the UN General Assembly every year, where a bunch of people who think they're more important than everybody else in the world gather and screw up um, Midtown Manhattan traffic." And yeah, not going to be very fun for the next 2 weeks. So, uh, myself and Mrs. Evil gonna have some really rough days trying to either get to work or get to the gym. That's gonna be kind of crazy, but we're gonna make it happen. um, for those of you who've never been to New York City or driven in New York City, this is definitely one of the most difficult places in the world to drive, basically because of the driving culture and the pedestrian culture. Um, um, but when the UN General Assembly gets here, it's hell. It's hell in a cell. Shout out to Adam Pearce, general manager of Monday Night Raw, putting CM Punk and Drew McIntyre in Hell in a Cell for Bad Blood. I was actually texting a friend last night concerning pro wrestling. I'm like, listen, ever since that loaf of white bread won the WWE Championship, or not won, was gifted the championship at WrestleMania 40, I just don't feel like watching a product. But this CM Punk Drew McIntyre feud, I'm loving this. I'm loving I'm loving the vitriol, the ass whooping that Drew McIntyre put on CM Punk last week. For me, was totally unexpected. That was brutal. That was really something to watch. And now that they're going to do Hell in a Cell, now I feel like I have to watch Bad Blood to watch, how this feud, Adam Pearce is promising a conclusion to this feud. I don't know if that's really what's going to happen, but I'm definitely looking forward. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that happen. But anyway, I don't know how many of you guys have driven in New York City, but um, it's so much worse on the island of Manhattan. I guess they're worried about somebody doing something drastic in the name of a religion or some nationality or whatever, but the FDR Drive is completely effed. Completely effed. Like driving to the east side of Manhattan, like I almost did it just now until Mrs. Evil texted me. It's like, oh no, actually you were right. It's not going to go well today. Um, and so I have to try to find a way to get the gasoline that I need to get. And then I just remembered that I don't have the discount ready until after 9 a.m. So I can't go and get the gas the way I want to. Today just sucks. Today sucks. But whatever. I need to save money on this gas, so that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, I had to change my plan. um. So it's funny we haven't seen the car guy in a while. He probably would have liked this episode, but anyway. Speaking of the driving, Mrs. Evil and I went to two dealerships on Friday. We went to the BMW dealership, and I wanted to get a look at the BMW X1, but it really, they didn't have any X1s, at least not right now. Apparently, the BMW X1 is very, very popular right now. And we went and took a look at the Audi dealership as well. And I have not really seriously considered Audi for, you know, for a vehicle to lease. I don't really consider them in the same echelon as BMW and Mercedes Benz. But I'm now, I'm now considering more options. Um, I'm now considering more car options, and uh, shut the fuck up. See, I'm making a U-turn. The fuck you gonna honk your horn for? Like, nothing's gonna change. Fondue says I see a lot of the XTs, X1s in New Haven and Stanford. They are nice and great for utility use, and they're smaller. They're large enough to do what you need to do, depending on where you are in life. Um, so there's that. But for me, I really want to cut down on costs, like a lot. So that's really my motivation for going for the. Thank you for moving. Because guys are gonna let me in. Is there an accident here? Yep. Stupid people doing stupid things. Yeah. So the X1. I think the BMW X1 is a better looking vehicle than the BMW X3. The BMW X3 could look a lot better than it does. The original BMW X1 did not really look that great. And now I look at the X1 and it just looks really nice. And for the way that I drive, I don't even think that I'm going to need the M35i. I'm going to be just fine with the 28. The 28 is going to be just good enough. And, that's probably what I'm going to replace the Mercedes-Benz with. It's just not worth it to me to pay as much as I'm paying. And then they want you to pay more, and then they want to email you like, we've got a deal for you. You can pay us even more money, but for a bare bones version of the car you have. How does that sound? Not alluring at all. Thanks very little. Not interested. Okay, you're gonna like, oh my God. You're gonna hit this dumpster. And he hit the dumpster. Let me just get past you because you're doing dumb shit. Holy crap. Thank you for not moving the bus anymore, bus. Wow, that guy was really dumb. Hey, Mrs. Eva made it to work. Let's go. I heard that collision with the dumpster. Oh, you heard it. Some dude was backing up with a van. And what I suspect happened was he was trying to force himself into a spot that his van clearly could not fit in. And because it's a panel van, you can also tell that even if you did get into the spot, there would not be enough space for you to open the doors so you can get your equipment out of the back. I mean, I can tell that, and I don't drive a panel van, a commercial panel van for work, and I know that. The guy that drives the van every day doesn't understand that. Okay. Anyway, yeah, the X1 is just a much better looking vehicle than the X2 and the X3 and the X4. So it's like, do you get an X1 or do you get an X5? So, I found out that releasing this vehicle is probably going to be prohibitively expensive when factoring in the actual value of this vehicle. So I'm sad about that. I really want to see if there's a way I can keep this car because I really like this car. There's an X7 M50i in front of me. That's got to be like at least 120,000, 130,000. I don't think that it's really worth it for a big ass SUV like that. But whatever. They gave me an X4 as a courtesy vehicle, and it was small. And I keep trying to tell people that there is no reason for you to buy a GLC coupe, a GLE coupe, an X4, or an X6. You pay more money than its regular SUV counterpart for less vehicle. You get less headroom, you get less cargo volume. And they charge you $10,000 more to get a car that is demonstrably worse in every way, including looks. Because those sloped SUVs look dumb as hell. Super dumb. So we're also considering the Audi Q5 although not really very excited by that. Um, I guess we'd actually have to see an example of it. You know, the dude was trying to say, "Oh, the SQ5 is really nice and all of that." I don't know about all of that. I realized that I don't really need horsepower in my family SUV. I think that Joy Walking, aka the disembodied hand, I think that she would agree. Would you agree? I don't need a super fast and powerful family vehicle.
I haven't thought about that.
Especially like the way that I drive. I don't really drive very aggressively, mainly because gas is so expensive. Well, they still didn't repave this road yet. Great. Oh, so, looking at options to replace this car if I'm forced to, which I really don't want to. I'm hoping that I can get like a 230i, an M240i, or if I get super duper lucky in life, get the M2. But from what I understand, getting an M2 is going to be like damn near impossible. So I might have to abandon that dream. um, yeah, I just don't know. What do you think about the Porsche Cayenne? The Porsche Cayenne seems to be a nice vehicle. I don't think that I'll get the lease terms that I would want on a Porsche Cayenne. Um, they're probably going to want 17 or 18, maybe even, they might even want, close to $2,000 a month for one when they wasn't asking for nearly that much just a few short years ago. So I'm not really considering the Cayenne. In some ways, I'm still considering the Porsche Macan. I think I'd rather have a Macan than a Q5, but if the difference in monthly payment is like $400, then I'll probably just take the Q5 and live with that for a couple of years. And like, Mrs. Evil was saying to me, it gives, we're not going to be stuck, in a Q5 forever. So, we can continue to work hard, continue to try to build our, professional profiles in our respective professions. And then we can look at a Macan later, or, an X5 again, or something along those lines. Uh, so yeah, there was a once upon a time I wanted a Range Rover Velar, but Joy Walking was with me when I went to go ask about one, and it didn't really seem like they were very interested in serving us as customers. So neither one of us really forgot that. So I don't think that we, at least not the dealership that's near where we live, I don't think that we'll ever go with that as an option. I don't think that's going to work for us. So yeah, really not sure about, what choices are going to be made later. But got to start thinking about it, and not really excited about the possible transition. The Land Rover Jaguar dealership near me are a bunch of pompous assholes. Well, okay, so I guess that's what they look for when they hire salespeople. How much do you make the customer or the prospective customer want to leave without a vehicle? Well, I sip my cereal flavored protein. Yeah, you probably should stand on the sidewalk. Aston Martin, that's nice. Aston Martins look really nice, but their technology is like 2 whole generations behind everybody else, including like Hyundai. But man, the design language of their coupes are really nice. It's crazy. I was looking for a Jaguar XE 3.5T last year, and they completely blew me off. It was like, and they wonder why they're struggling with sales. You treat the prospective customers like they're beneath you. You shouldn't treat the customers like they're above you. But it's really crazy how, at least in our experience and in your experience, Sir Fernando the Fondue King, they really seem to look down on the customer. I mean, it could be that. It could be something else if your name is Fernando and you see what I look like, and that could be part of it. I don't know. But do you want people to drive off in a Defender and you get a commission, or do you not? That's what it really boils down to. And then you just end up going to another manufacturer and getting your car from them.
Just a big Coheed fan?
Massive. What? You see the shirt?
Well, I saw it. No, I used to work at Equal Vision when I was a kid.
Oh, okay. That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, my other car, the license plate is Coheed.
Oh, no kidding.
And this is Cambria.
That's awesome.
Wow, that's some cool shit. Wow, that was cool as hell. Oh, man. So, usually it's like the color of the car. He was like, "Are you a big fan?" So I was thinking thinking maybe the New York Mets or something. He was like, "Are you a big fan, like a big Coheed fan?" I'm like, "Yeah." my other car's license plate is Coheed. This one's Cambria. He's like, "Yeah." Equal Vision Records is where Coheed released their first album from. That's crazy. That today wasn't going so well. It feels a little bit better now. That was cool. That was cool as hell. Wow. That was cool as balls. Not gonna front. That was fun. That's just awesome. That's just freaking sweet, man. Holy crap, that was cool. So, it was actually very nice to have Sir Fernando, the Fondue King, to hang out with us today for most of the stream. That was very nice. But unfortunately, my time has come
Are you still
to...
Or?
Nope. Not really. It's not, my time has come to go away until Thursday again. He says, excellent band. Wow, we got another Coheed guy in here. Didn't know. I am a fan of the comic series. They named their band after the Amory Wars. Oh, wow. Didn't know that you were up on the Heed, man. Yeah. Coheed is the shit. And, yeah, I've been a massive fan, since 2005. Yeah, something like that. So almost 20 years. Giving them a lot of my money, and it's well deserved. So, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I need to get out of here. Thank you so much for supporting what we do here. And as always, if you believe yourself to be strong, you're absolutely correct, because you've done the work and you've earned the right to believe so. I will see you on Thursday.